Hello and welcome back to another episode of Critical Reactions with your host Bryan. We're going to wrap up today with a special selection, which is where one of you tell me exactly what it is I need to check out. Today's special selection comes at us from Anonymous. Special selection request is I Was the Sword by Funeral Diner. So let's dive into this. Can't find this anywhere. Spotify doesn't have it. I checked Bandcamp. It seems to be a split between Ampere and Funeral. It does say split EP there on the cover art. So yeah, we have a split between two bands, but we're going to be looking at Funeral Diner. The track I Was the Sword. I don't know how good the quality is on this, but let's dive in and find out. Got that cross stick going through all this. Oh, I take that back. It's the hi-hat. Love the bass pushing the song forward. The guitars are mostly textural. Really expressive drumming. Got a nice fill at the end of every passage. That is a really groovy beat. Massive sounds. Yeah, bouncing between highs and lows, extreme highs and lows. Love the spaciousness here. Just a really open sounds. The drum just amping the intensity. Yeah, just beautiful atmosphere made up of a few simple ideas off the strings, and the drums just pushing everything forward. Got some compression on the vocals. Really powerful way to end this. Yeah, what a great way to end that. Taking all of the highs and the lows, the peaks and the valleys we had experienced up to that point, and amplifying it all, giving us this really nice chord progression that gives us our emotional home base in the center channel, and then two guitars out to the side channels, bringing in their own little flair. The thing is I don't know if I should call it like noisy elements because they kind of work not necessarily with what's happening with the rest of the track. They're sort of in their own world, but it's also sort of twinkling, like an embellishment, just an embellishment that goes on all the time, which isn't normally what I would describe an embellishment or an ornamentation, which tend to be little sparkles of ideas, a little flourish thrown in from time to time. But it certainly does. It colors the atmosphere in a way that feels like twinkling. It's just a really beautiful moment. The bass continues to push the chord progression forward, and it's just a very large moment to wrap up the song. Just great way to take that to a strong finale. And it's also a strong extrapolation of ideas. I guess we're going to kind of work backwards here. The penultimate section is our second lull. It's our second low point, and it explores a really beautiful atmosphere. The guitars and the bass all have separate ideas that come together into something that feels very spacious and complementary at the same time. None of the instruments are anywhere near each other in the mix. They're all pushed away from each other in their own little corners, but what they're playing works well against what the others are playing. It's this beautiful little concept that paints such a strong element, such a strong atmosphere of isolation and yearning for more. We have the vocals on top with the first time we have clean vocals. And from here, we continue to build the intensity. The vocals take on a little bit of natural grit. They get a little bit of production uh, compression put on them to increase the electricity or the energy of them. Our right guitar ends up getting louder and eventually a little bit of overdrive. We have an increase of compression over time. The song begins to swell, and then from here we move into that final section, the big moments. And this carries on many of the same ideas of having our chord progression in the middle and little twinkling ideas around it. It's just a beautiful growth from that area, exploring a totally different vibe, but very similar foundations in the compositional area. Yeah, I mean, just like the last 2 minutes of this is masterpiece writing um, for the genre, I should say. It is effective, but I think you put this up against some of the best works ever, and masterpiece might be a little bit of an overstatement. Masterclass, I think, of writing simple, efficient writing, simple, efficient songs that perfectly articulate and express an emotion. There we go. I think that's. I walked that back in a graceful way, right? I don't know why I said masterpiece. That's one of those things that another reactor might have just cut out in post production, but nope. I sit here and dwell in my mistakes and let you see the nervousness of the whole situation. Oh man. But yeah, so like the last 2 minutes are fantastic. Um, I gotta say though, we've listened to a lot of metal. We've had a little bit of rock thrown in from time to time. We had some hip hop a couple weeks ago with the album review. But emo and screamo and post hardcore, they haven't really had much of a spotlight in the channel for a while, and it was really nice hearing this in such such small proximity to another emo track that really worked for me, which was Marigold and Patchwork by the Appleseed Cast. Um, that was Friday's special selection, and I'm just really appreciating all this love from this direction, and it is making me want to dig into this little project of mine to listen to every post-hardcore album. It makes me want to do it even more. I'm loving this. Even Friday, I was like, maybe I should also do an every emo album because listening to these songs back to back put a smile on my face that a lot of the music that we listen to just doesn't. I can appreciate it. Sometimes I find some stuff that does work for me on some level, but none of it really connects with me the way that this kind of music does. And this is just a really great reminder, even on my own. I've been listening to a lot of metal, as that's primarily what's been released in the last couple of months in 2024. Um, and it's just like, this is just a strong reminder of just how much I love this type of music. I wouldn't even say that this was one of the best songs or one of the best representations of the genre, and yet it still works so well for me. Is there anything else you want to add to this, though? I don't think so. I'm going to hit some lyrics and see if we can expand from there and see where that takes us. I love these lyrics. This is so good. I definitely have to look at more of a funeral diner. Is this another one of those bands that put out like one or two albums and then faded into obscurity? Just no one knows where they went. They never struck it big. It's kind of sad how much music is going to be lost for that reason. Either stuff that was ahead of its time or great but not good enough to be recognized by well, let me put it this way: great but not good enough to be profitable to a record label. And so they flounder doing local shows for a year or two and then maybe give up on their dream because financial security is pretty important in life. And chasing passions that is eating up your money is not always feasible for everybody. The lyrics here are about, it seems, two people who are metaphorically both stuck in the same tornado. Neither one of them in a good position to save themselves, much less help another, and yet both wanting to do that. It says the first morning, the first time you realize you've laid it to rest yourself, that God died in you and I couldn't save you, even then. These scars that never heal and the clarity that allows you to feel enveloped like the dead enveloped. I wanted to change, as if being discarded were that easy and the nights ended up being that empty. It's so much more free. You were led here by no one, and this place is warm. The change is definite, and I've been stripped down time and time again and left for the gray and the cold. Your voice changes pitches and blurs like a storm carries a ship. You couldn't save me even then, and I should have known that. Yeah, just visceral lyrics. Absolutely beautifully written, and I love that final line. Like a storm carries a ship, you couldn't save me. A reflection to the second line of the track, and I couldn't save you even then. But I like the realization there at the final moment. You couldn't even save me, and I should have known that. I put a burden on you that I knew you could never, never complete the task with. I should have known better than to ask. Yeah, just, dang, it's so good. It really speaks to the ups and downs about having moments where you feel a little bit stronger and want to help others, but you're really not at your best then, anyways. Mentions that the scars don't heal, but the clarity allows you to feel. These may not be the best of times, but I sure do feel alive in them. Looking at a bit of a silver lining to it, but also could look at some sort of dependency upon the negativity. It is a very concise story, 12 to 15 lines long, that tells a multitudes of ideas about two very complex people. Much like the lyrics are full of highs and lows, our song has highs and lows as well, and I really feel the full weight of a little bit of the chaotic nature, but also the negativity in the music there at the end, swelling to a peak as these final lyrics speak about wishing to be saved and knowing they should never have even asked. Yeah, I'm on board with Funeral Diner. Those are my thoughts. I was the sword. What do you think of this track? Anything that stands out to you? Anything you'd like to correct me on? Or lean into something that you don't think I talked enough about in the track? Maybe you just have your own thoughts, perspectives, or opinions about it. Put all that stuff down in the comment section. Above that, in the description box, you'll find a link to Linktree. It'll take you to this menu. You can find links to my music, ways to support the channel, a link to the Discord server, and so much more. Above that, if you could, like, subscribe, and ring the bell. I greatly appreciate all three of those. That wraps it up for today, but I will be back tomorrow, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 9 p.m. UTC. As usual, we'll continue on with our theme and explore another special selection. Until next time, remember to be critical, not cynical, of the music you listen to, and have a fantastic morning, afternoon, or evening whenever you choose to watch my videos.